All right.
Hey,
I think
how
we
do you
got it.
do?
We are slowly getting this together so it starts to look like a professional organizational thing and shit.
Listen, I'm glad it's doing that. I'm still having my own challenges, but that's all right though. We good. We making it work. Hmm.
It's raining men. Hallelujah. It's raining men. Amen. Because,
I
baby, that
want to
rain
go
is
out. I
raining
want
and
to get myself just
absolutely soaking wet.
soaking wet.
It's
Like,
raining, man.
like I'm just wet, like wet.
So,
Like,
so, so epic.
oh, sorry.
You remember
Okay.
when we were little kids and we would go swimming and you would get in the water and you would uh dunk your head under the water and then your head would come up and water would glisten all over your body.
My body all over my body, baby.
I said water would glisten all over your body. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So anyway, girl, how is you?
I'm all right. We had a day today, and other than that, it was okay. But these days, sometimes they just they be daying like a lot. But again, it's all cool. The day was good. We don't have too much to say about that. So it was cool. It was cool. Yeah. Um, the week has been pretty decent. Hey everybody, I'm sorry, I'm seeing y'all, and I'm not even uh saying
Oh,
hello.
Josh is watching on the living room TV. That's fancy.
They are real fancy, but listen, I know what it's like. Wait, Josh
Mhm.
and his husband, they both watching. Okay, all right. Hey,
Yeah, so
Dylan.
right, we got to say
What's
hello to the people. So the first person was Trayvon, and
oh,
then
Trayvon was the
Bellin.
first person tonight?
Yeah, Trayvon was the first person here, and then
Cool.
followed quickly by Dellin and Desmond and Eccentric and Josh. So thank you
Okay,
all for joining.
cool. Happy that you all are here.
Yes, and I'm
Again,
excited because we have an extra special guest on the BGKH show. The one, the only, the legendary, the queen of the shameless promotion, the one, the only Ms. Rayceen Pendarvis.
baby, listen, I just want everybody, I want to go on record as saying this. Like, so listen, I just want to make sure. Oh, wait, Lola says she was first. But okay, I
Hold on, let me look at the chat.
it says that she was first. Now she may not have responded, but it says that she was. She said, "Scroll, big scroll."
How rude. My thing
Um,
doesn't show that, but listen, Lola wouldn't. There's no reason that Lola would lie, so we're gonna give her the first prize. So,
okay,
congratulations, Lola! Thank you so much. We love you
right.
so much.
We love you, and you get to have continued viewership of the BGKH show for another century.
I
Because
I have a
listen,
I have a bottle, and Greg is here. And Lola, I have
hey
a
Greg,
bottle of liquor with your name on it. Baby, I'm starting to get into the cleaning. Oh, sorry. Hold on. I cut you off. You were telling us about your shitty day. So please.
I mean, why are we gonna start now? We've been cutting each other off. What's the point? Like, what are we doing
I
now? Like, why are
know,
we?
I know. It's and I sometimes feel a little self-conscious with it. And I mean, but it's what friends do. It's not like, it's not like
Yeah,
we
I
at work
mean,
like, Epic, shut up.
yeah, no. Mm-mm. And here's the thing. This is when you are a man of a certain age. We can do that in some very passive aggressive ways and just kind of slide them in. And listen, we deal with that. And it's all in love. Let's be clear. I want everybody to know it's all in love because that's how we do it.
Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
So anyway, as I was saying,
but before I was interrupted, I was going to finish off this last paragraph that I had of my sentence. I'm just saying. So I was saying that. Well, hey Greg. First of all, I'm glad that you're here. And Lola was trying to figure out if she was first or what.
The gang is all here.
Listen, so let me be clear. Let me go back. Let me go back. Last week was pretty good. I'm really excited. I'm so glad that Rayceen's coming on the show. We all go through this thing. I think a lot of gay men of a certain age bracket go through this thing where they have like their family. So whether you were in a house or whether you just had your gay mama, your gay daddy, whoever it is, everybody has those. I never really had a gay father or a gay mother. I never had one that I identified with. But I'm going to tell you, there are a couple people that when I think about the stuff that I did and when I did it and where I did it, they will probably be one of those people. Rayceen is one of those people because when I was as a young gay hanging out in DC in the 90s ish, and listen, Manga can attest to this. But as a young gay in the night, baby, we did a lot of stuff, and we probably could have.
Wait a minute, Dylan. What you mean you can't stay the whole time but wanted to say hi? What other things do you have to do?
Because you know this is coming up. This comes up every single week from 8 to 9:30. Keep your ass in. Don't you move nowhere,
exactly. Exactly. Y'all know she got a date.
That's whatever.
Right. You know she got a date. Anyway, go. Please continue, Epic.
As I was saying, so one of the three people would have been Rayceen. There was another young lady. Well, I not to say that. Well, two different people, but there was a woman in Philadelphia, Anya Diamond, and although she was one of the older people, that she was always cool with me whenever I had to chat with her. So she always stood around in the background, and she was close with a lot of people that I knew. And I just always looked for her as like the gauge when I went to certain places.
And let me interrupt you one more time. The gag is that all of the people that we consider our gay mothers and fathers are the same age we are now. And like, what?
Some of them. But, and then the last person would have been Diamond Aviance. And Diamond is actually no longer with us. But again, I acknowledge her all the time because when I say dancing bitch, I will forever say dancing bitch when I say the words Diamond Aviance. And she became a very close friend and just missing her. So those are the three people. So I'm excited about that. And I'm glad about that. And no, bitch, you ain't raised me. That's that other child over there that's from Philadelphia in them comments up there. She wants that. No, bitch, you ain't raised me, bitch. I raised you, remember?
I raised myself.
I built herself.
I built Epic from the ground up.
Manga and I are the two bitches that made sure this bitch did some of her first. So I don't even want to hear that shit. Don't listen. I remember the time, baby. Do you want me to start calling out some names? You want me to start calling out some details?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Do we want to talk about that first phone call after you left the city when somebody dialed the number and they was asking for somebody and that somebody answered the phone and realized it was the wrong somebody? We're not going to go there. So we're going to leave that alone. But I love you. So anyway, but yes, so that's kind of my thing growing up. And while I had some uncles and stuff like that were around, and I always refer to as Aunt Edie. Aunt Edie was around, but wasn't until later. So I was still hanging out with her and glad to be around her. But I'm looking forward to it because she's such an amazing person, and she's doing some of the things that I feel like, or she's setting an example, I feel like, for what some of the younger gays or things that you should actually do. Because at no particular point in time did I ever imagine me being in the community to have a space in the community where I'm actually talking about stuff and being a part of this organization and, being president or vice president or just involved in the community in some way. So these are some of the things that I've picked up and from other people and watching them do things. And so Rayceen is definitely one of those people. So I always applaud her, and I listen, she gets nothing but love from me at any time that I'm anywhere around. So she was also one of our
save some of that love for when she comes on screen.
Right. So I am, but I was gonna say she was also
got a few things to talk about, and I want to make sure we get to them. But
we are only at 8:12. We got enough time to gab like we've been doing. We could now. Okay, so I'm finished now. But go ahead on.
Look on the left side of the screen. There's shit to talk about.
Go ahead on. Go ahead.
Thirsty. Josh says, I'm thirsty and have a taste for some tea. Well, when Rayceen gets on screen, she will definitely be giving you some tea. I have some tea, but I'm trying to. I'm going to have to start talking less about work stuff.
Oh. Because I feel like a change is coming sooner versus later.
So my Jamaican guy actually heard the show, and once again, I want to be crystal clear that when I say my Jamaican guy, I only mean that he is Jamaican, not that there is any sort of whatever, because he is strictly heterosexual. He has not made anything that will make me think that he is anything but he's just a cool guy. And I just said that. And then he watched, but sometimes the girls be like, what you mean my Jamaican guy? I was like, no, girl, he's just Jamaican. I couldn't think of anything. I could have called him Cool Runnings, but I couldn't think of anything else, at the moment. But he heard the show, and I was like, you know what? Other people might watch the show, and this show is cute, but she's not paying me what the job is paying me. So I'm gonna have to talk in round terms about the job. So I have some tea that I'm gonna tell you about after the show. It's not really tea. It's just really something that is interesting. So,
Well, keep talking because I'm having a hot flash. I'm turning the fan on. Keep talking. I'm here. I'm getting a little hot.
No,
keep talking.
Good. And so, everything is cool. This weekend was very low key. I finally started. Hey, Elimination. I started digging into Elimination. I think I already told you that we will be there in your city from December 23rd to January the 4th. So more details to come. I'm planning to do it'll be a new thing for you, but my tradition of a circle of thanks on New Year's Eve. So we'll talk about that later. But anyway, so my basement has been a mess essentially since the day after Cookies and Cocktails in 2023, because that's when my basement flooded the first time. But I was leaving for Florida in 2 days, so I cleaned it up as best I could and everything, and then I got back, and then it flooded again. And then that's when I had like the water remediation and all that shit come. And then, so that brings us into 2024. And eventually Kendra got sick and got sicker and sicker. And then most of my life was, it was either work or that. And then she died. And so now I'm like, I got to get this basement done, because here's my thing. I am living in this house all by myself. And I've already had people that are like, so...
No.
Three bedrooms.
Nope, I don't. They're all occupied. Nope. They got stuff in them.
Three full baths.
Nope, they all occupied. Somebody using them.
And a half bath.
Somebody using it.
You should have a roommate. You shouldn't be living there all alone. And I'm like, nope. They all
I'm
good. I am good. Yep. Because now every room almost has only one function. My bedroom is just the bedroom. This room is just the office. The only room that has multiple functions right now is the den/play space, because the basement is fucked up. But once the basement gets unfucked, then the play space will move downstairs. So every room in this house already has a defined function. And you know what's good about that? Each one of those spaces already has its own bathroom with its own shower, including a shower with a floor drain in the dungeon space.
Well, I mean, you're not an animal. You're not a barbarian.
Right. I mean, it's it's not a tub. It's it's ready. So it's and it's big enough for at least 3 people. So I'll just put that out there for those who might be interested in that. But anyway, so I started working on that, and I have put myself on a schedule that every day I'm supposed to spend at least an hour working in the basement. And I didn't do it today, but I did 3 hours on Monday. So I'm sort of caught up for now. So that's essentially where my life is. This weekend, I am Onyx is we're partnering with Libido Health to do a discussion on power dynamics at the MLK Library from 4 to 5. So please come out for that. And then I'm having, well, that morning actually, I'm having brunch with Seder, and I am using my Resi app because, all right, this is going to sound bougie.
Seder, aka French 75, but okay, go ahead.
Right. Mr. French 75, yes. This is going to sound bougie, but so be it. I have earned this privilege. So I have an American Express card, and they just upped the fee. It was $695. They just upped the fee to $895 annually. Now, if you take advantage of all of the things, it's going to more than pay for it. For instance, like I get $200 in flight credits that I can use for incidentals, but I got to fly United. You know, I can get my YouTube pay. I can get a bunch of things, so it covers, but I got to actively start taking advantage of it. So that's why we're going to this restaurant using the Resi app, because I can get up to $400 a year back for reservations made through Resi. Anyway, so that's that. So then after the MLK thing, I am hopping on a train to go to a horse market function in Philadelphia.
Okay, because I had to, for 1 second, I had to stop, and I was like, bitch, I know you are damn well you're not buying no damn horse. Where the hell you gonna put it? You ain't even talk about no damn.
I mean, I would like to ride. I plan to ride a couple of horses.
Well, listen, but it registered, and it registered, and it started to make sense. That's all. The context happened. It just happened in the context.
Exactly. Yes. So I will be riding a few horses in Philadelphia and spending the night, and then coming back. And then I did commit to 007 and Grey Owl that I would come out to the Ugly Mug on Sunday night, especially because Grey Owl 007 did his notary thing for me, and that saved me $100.
Listen, that's they're also two people that I love, and they always have a great time. So that's where I reset on my Sunday nights, so that it's always a good time for me.
Mixed Symphony was there getting their hair retwisted, so it was cute. We spent a cute little 30 minutes chit-chatting, so that's what I'm looking forward to this weekend. So good times.
Okay. All
right, so we got a few fun things to chat about. You ready?
Sure.
It's not easy being the first Black man marrying into the European royal family, and I'm the first. I thought maybe I'm gonna end up with a man, but I decided that I'm soul sexual. I'm attracted to the soul of the person. I don't see myself as straight or gay. Doesn't matter if it's a male or a female, or it could be another being from another planet. As far as I'm concerned, it's about the energy that they exude. And maybe it's because I've not met the right guy, but I met Martha and she has that. And it doesn't matter what body it comes in. That's what I fell in love with. I fell in love with her.
So I plan to watch this because
when does it air?
I don't know. I didn't get all of that detail, but what I do know is that I am just fascinated by this story, that he is a Black American. Listen, girl, you can call yourself whatever it is you want to call yourself, but everybody that look at you is going to be, that is a homosexual. A Black homosexual who is marrying into the European royal family.
And with that, there's a certain associate. Listen, my Aunt Edie, when I say cried when Princess what's her name? When Diana got married, and then at her accident and the death and the cried because he loves everything about the royal family, and that's all that I see right now when I'm looking at this man. I'm like, do you like the person, or you like the fact that you'll be a part of the royal family? But again, I listen. I am not that man, and I shouldn't be questioning anything about him because I don't know that man. So let me stop there. He said what he said, and I'm gonna go with that. But I'm gonna be watching.
So his name is Derek Verrett. And I'm looking to see European royalty Netflix. The series.
Out of it too?
He is the series. No, is this it? Not the Young Royals. No, that's not it.
I will.
Okay. The show is called Rebel Royals, and it's about a bunch of royals in Europe. And this is one of the couples. And listen, I am not going to be so crass to say that it is only about girl get your coins, because I just want to be like, I just want to say, this isn't the British royal family, right? So the coins is coining a little bit, but it's I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's not like he married King Charles's niece, so the coins is cute. It's more coins than we got. I want to be very clear, but the coins ain't coining like that. That's all.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying at all. I think I'm just stuck at the entrance. Like, I'm trying to get all my credentials together because the entrance of this is introducing him, introducing the wife and the family. I'm stuck there at the credentials. That's where I'm at. So I'm just stuck. I'm still at the game trying to get my
Band-Aid. I'm just stuck on Band-Aid brand because Band-Aid stuck on me.
I mean, that's where I'm stuck at. I'm stuck there. I'm definitely stuck there.
Yeah. So let me see. When did it come out yet?
Because now the funny thing is, if you're telling me this is on now, baby, when I get finished with this, I'm going to take listen, I'm gonna have a full write-up for next week if it's on now.
I think it is coming out this month, but I don't know exactly what date.
Listen,
and it's called Rebel Royal.
Listen, I see people are putting quotes in the chat, and I see that there's one in here saying that people still want to feel royal and wear a crown or a sash. Okay, so yes, I get that.
Oh, 5,000%. Baby, I would love to do that, but with a man.
Listen, but they are soul sexual, so this is where we are, and I'm going to go ahead and go with what they're saying. So that's where I'm at.
I don't get into grown folks business. I'll just leave it at
that.
But I mean, we are in a little bit grown folks business because otherwise we wouldn't have a show. So there we go.
Well, I mean, because they do fall into like at least two of those categories. Actually three. Black, gay, and human. So we don't know about the kinky part, but I mean, okay, because he said. Well, no, he didn't say gay. He said he identifies. Did he say he doesn't identify as gay anymore? Is that what he said?
He said maybe because he hasn't found the right man yet. But yeah. I'm alone because all I would say, this is my thing. I believe 100% the bisexuals exist, right? But sometimes they be trying to have their cake and eat it too. Like, no person wants to be like, I'm only with you because I haven't found the right whatever. You know what I mean? Like, if he was heterosexual, like his wife wouldn't want to hear him say, I'm only with her because I haven't found the right woman yet. And so no woman wants to hear her man, whatever the nature of their relationship is, be like, I'm only with you because I haven't found the right dude yet.
Listen,
but anyway. So
none of my business, none of my affair at this particular point. That's where I'm at.
Right. Speaking of homosexuals,
gay people should not be adopting children. Straight people shouldn't be giving them away.
I feel like we need to hear that again.
Gay people should not be adopting children. Straight people shouldn't be giving them away.
And the gag is,
where's the lie? That's the gag. Spot all of the lie, because where's the lie?
Right.
Where's the lie? But listen, this young man or that person wears me out. I swear to God, I love what all of their videos. Yes, all of the videos that they make are amazing. I absolutely love. One video that they posted was something about they were in a Home Depot or something, and somebody was getting ready to say something to them, and then they said some words they had some words back and forth, and then he finally stopped and was like, "Are you talking to me?" And he was like, he said, "I'm gonna put my bag down," because he said something to him that he thought he was gonna fight or whatever. And he was like, no, this will be real quick. And when I say he verbally assaulted this boy just that quick, like he was like, "Oh no." When I say it was everything, I said, "Oh my God." I was like,
yeah, very much that.
All I got.
So let's transition to a moment of fat assery.
Yay, fat assery.
Better don't leave one piece. Had the power to pop like juicy.
See, they did that wrong. They did that wrong. They wasting too much cheese. See, they did that
right.
wrong.
I saw all of that extra. I like the concept because it puts cheese and everything on every nacho. Right. But they wasted a lot of shit. You're right. They wasted a lot of shit. Yes.
Yes, they wasted a whole bunch of shit. Yeah.
So lastly, on Tuesday, Big Sister General, her new book came out called 107 Days, talking about her epic run last year for the presidency. So this is some of the spiciest takes from that, and we can talk briefly about that. And I see Rayceen is in the back room. Hey, Rayceen.
Hey,
so we'll be bringing her on in about 5 to 7 minutes. So first up, she wanted Pete Buttigieg as her running mate. She said Pete Buttigieg, quote, would have been the ideal partner if I were a straight white man. But we were already asking a lot of America to accept a woman, a black woman. Part of me wanted to say, screw it, let's just do it. But knowing what was at stake, it was too big of a risk. And I thought this was an important thing to discuss because I remember before she dropped out, everybody was saying Biden needed to go. No one was like super excited, at least that we were talking to was super excited about Biden. And everybody was like, Pete Buttigieg. And the people who was really pushing the Pete Buttigieg thing were white gay men because they were like, because it felt like they could only see things through that lens. And I was like, baby, that is asking a lot. Yeah, you saw that shit on Scandal. Yes, Cyrus became the president-elect for a while with his horse-faced hooker husband. Yes, but that is a Shonda Rhimes production, not a real-life thing. And I was like, I don't care that Pete Buttigieg he's a great debater, and I think he's a great politician. And I don't think one day he might not make I think he will make a good president one day. But baby, to put him on the ticket last year I just don't see it. And putting him on the ticket along with Kamala. And what she was saying when she was on Rachel Maddow, I think it was Rachel Maddow yesterday, she was like, this man already went to the depths of hell talking about me as a Black woman and as a South Asian woman. Can you imagine what he would have said about Pete Buttigieg? Because nothing is off limits for Donald Trump. What he would have said about Pete Buttigieg, about Pete's husband, about their children, about their family, all of that stuff. And so she was like, yeah, we only ready for a Black woman because we had a Black man, so we already kind of ready for that. But to have a gay vice president and a gay second gentleman, and that would have been a lot for this country.
Listen, I would have definitely been here for it. Absolutely
100.
would have been here for it. But yeah, that, like she said, it was a lot.
Yeah, this country wasn't ready for. I mean, we turned out not to really be ready for a Black and South Asian woman. So yeah,
well, then there's that.
With the whitest of white men as her running mate. And don't get me wrong, when she introduced Tim Walz, at first I was like, who the fuck is this guy? But listen to him speak, I fell in love with Tim too. So anyway, next up. She was stalled and ghosted by big name Democrats when asking for endorsements. Speaking about Barack, Michelle, she's quoting Barack saying, Michelle and I are supportive, but not going to put a finger on the scale right now. Let Joe have his moment and think through timing. And for Nancy Pelosi, she said, I'm so sad about Joe. It's so tragic. We should have some kind of primary, not an anointment. And I'm going to let you go first. Thoughts on this slide?
For me, this represents what she is, a female, a woman, and the culture with Barack. Even though, again, we're talking about, they're not of the same descent, but they share African ancestry. So we'll go with that. And it's one of those things where they always say, your biggest enemies sometimes are your closest allies, your closest friends. Yeah. And some of their moves may have held some very heavy political weight and would have probably endangered something else from a political standpoint later on, because again, politics is always the long game. It's still sad that at this particular moment or at that time, they couldn't literally push the button and kind of go balls to the wall for her.
Yeah. What Barack said, I'm less bothered by, because he didn't say he wasn't supportive. He was just saying that for a number of reasons, they didn't necessarily want to weigh in right away. Because remember, him and Joe were like this. And Barack isn't actively involved in politics at the moment. And he didn't say he wasn't going to support. He said, think through timing and let Joe have his moment. And I didn't read the book, so I don't know when we were saying that conversation had. But Nancy Pelosi, listen, I'm really sad about what happened to her husband, but this is bullshit. When you say we should have some kind of primary, not an anointment, you didn't say that to Joe. I mean, we could see what was going on with Joe Biden, but our options at the moment was Joe Biden or Donald Trump. We didn't have any other options. And so when you read the book, when you hear, I am going to buy this book because I'm going to support Big Sister General.
Listen, I'm here for it.
And she was saying that, I was kind of shocked, and it sort of helps me understand why, because
see, I don't know if I'm shocked. I don't know if I'm shocked. That's the part I'm saying. I don't know if I'm shocked.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm shocked.
Well, this is why I am shocked, because I'm not shocked. But reading between the lines, right? From our perspective, the perspective of everybody watching this show right now, I think we all have similar politics. We were all like, Kamala got this in the bag. We was all like, whatever. But baby, remember, I had donated to Kamala, and I was getting increasingly desperate sounding emails from the Kamala campaign. And I was like, these two things don't match. because if they felt like they had it in the bag, she wouldn't be like, please, can you send me $20? And then it would be like, please, can you send me $5? And then eventually it was like, please, I just need $1 in food stamps. It really was getting to that as we got closer and closer to the election. So I was like, I feel something ain't right. And now it's starting to all make sense that the big name donors and the people in the background wasn't really feeling it as much as, you know, me, you, Rayceen. I'm assuming Rayceen would have voted for her. But, you know, all of those people, she wasn't feeling it the same way.
I just politics again is such the long game, and so I going into this, I feel like the plans didn't necessarily match the actions at this particular point, and so whatever these plans are that are out here that are amongst the different houses, the Senate or the Congress, and listen, when you said Kamala got this in the bag, I was like, this feels very much like our girl Clinton. And yes, Hillary. And I was just like, I went to bed thinking, oh, she was going to win. I woke up thinking, oh, she done lost. And that's I'm not going to sit back and say I shared that with people. I said, that's what it feels like to me. I'm hoping. But sure enough, before I went to bed, I was closing my eyes. I was like, unfortunately, Kamala, this is gone. And then they was up at the Black.
By the time I went to bed, I was like, it's already gone. So let's wrap this up because we got we've got Rayceen waiting. So there's a couple of other quick takes. Let me get back to the screen. No one really cares about Joe Rogan. She said she had to talk Joe Biden out of wanting to wait for days to endorse her for president. Even when he did his speech to the Democratic National Convention, she wrote that how it was a legacy speech for him, not an argument for me. And listen, but I mean, she is entitled to her opinion. She had an incredible job in my lifetime. Yeah. In any of our lifetimes, never has someone who was the Democratic or Republican nominee gone from I'm not on the ticket as the president to running in a week.
Yes. But
so she had an incredible job, and I felt like everybody didn't rally around her the way they should have. They should have. This is what Republicans do. Republicans be like, well, not these crazy Republicans, but they used to be like, I don't fuck with you because of abortion or whatever. But then when it came down to it, they was like, listen, I'd rather have this guy in office than not. But Democrats, I was like, we all need to be rallying around her in the way that they did. And I think she is entitled to have that feeling, because I could only imagine what it was like to have to build a nationwide organization in 3 weeks.
All I'm getting ready to say is the legacy speech, as far as an argument for him, Joe was not a great debater. So let me stop right there. So that Joe was not the person that you should be upset with at this particular point. Honestly speaking, it's some of the people that did not endorse you that were big names. Those are the people that would have carried a lot more weight, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. And the last one, she says, working from within the system is no longer viable. Although she didn't spill any presidential or gubernatorial bids in the future, she did say that politics done in a traditional manner is no longer viable. Quote, working within the system by itself is not proving to be enough. I'll no longer sit in DC in the grandeur of the ceremonial office. I will be with the people in towns and communities where I can listen to their ideas on how we rebuild trust, empathy, and a government worthy of the ideals of this country, end quote.
Yeah, because they done took her damn security away from her too, but okay, whatever.
Right, which is, crazy because, it's not out of the realm of possibility that someone might try to push up on her. So, yeah. But I think this is a good transition to the one, the only mother, Rayceen Pendarvis, who is just everything. So I'm going to bring her on the screen, and we're going to do a quick sound check. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Can you hear us?
Greetings and salutations, all. Can you hear me?
Yes, God.
I can hear you.
Yes, so ma'am. Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much, Rayceen. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for
Listen,
inviting
you
me.
are.
I'm honored to be here.
Listen, you are definitely one of my, regardless of this show, you are definitely one of my favorite people. And I think I say that to you every time I see you. I'm like, oh my God, I'd be so, because on top of her being Rayceen, and Rayceen is just everything, just sit down and have a conversation with Rayceen. When I tell you the knowledge that spills out from, and it just drops out like I am just
like little pearls of wisdom.
All the time. So listen, thank you for just being who you are, baby, and how you have always been all my life that I've known you, and I appreciate it.
Oh, I received that. Thank you. Thank you so much. I take nothing for granted.
And thank you for taking time out of your schedule, because we know that your schedule is insane. And there is a number of things that you could be doing on a Wednesday night, including just sitting your legendary ass on a sofa and watching whatever your favorite TV show is, but you chose to be here with us. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. I'm honored to be here. And greetings once again to everybody who is tuning in, who's taking the time to watch us. So I'm honored.
Yes. So let's start with, what are your pronouns?
Human being. I'm a human being. I'm an individual. I am a father of 5, grandfather of 2, and mother to all.
Yes, God. Yes, God. I love that. I love that.
Okay. All right.
And Rayceen, I am Rayceen. You know, I don't, pronouns are not that really, for me, they're not a big thing. So you can't hurt my feelings, whatever you call me. Just come in love, and I greet in love. So that's
right. And as long as your name is spelled correctly on the check.
That's it. That's it. So I am Rayceen first and foremost.
Okay. All right. Listen, tell us where you're from. Are you originally from DC? Are you a DC
I'm a native
Washingtonian?
Native, born and raised, went to McKinley High School, went to Teachers College, went to cosmetology school. I am born at Freeman's Hospital, so I am ride or die DC.
Okay. All right. Isn't that what was the name before they changed it to Columbia Hospital for Women?
No, Freeman's Hospital actually is on the campus of Howard, the historical Howard University.
Oh, okay.
That was the colored hospital. So that's what
gotcha.
When we were colored.
Well, you know, then there's that.
Right.
So listen, let's go back. For those of you that may not know, Rayceen carries the name Pendarvis, which is one of the most legendary names as far as the ballroom community and the house community. And again, the idea of being that person and carrying that weight, Rayceen does it so effortlessly. But can you tell us how did you start in ballroom? Like, how did you, when you first started hanging out, and how did you even become a part of this scene? Were you hanging out with Avis? Like, how did all this start for you?
Well, our beloved Avis is Avis Pendarvis, who was the founder and mother emeritus. Will and always will be a native Washingtonian. She actually grew up with my cousins. She went to high school with my cousins. And my cousins used to go to balls. And one of my male cousins, who was straight, would participate in balls because at that time they had ballroom categories where they would ballroom dance. And he loved going because the dolls were the best ballroom dancers. So he said he couldn't get any women to participate. And when he started going and seeing the dolls, he said, oh, those are the ones I need to get because I want a trophy. So back then at the time, trophies would be like 6 feet tall. So they were really, really big. So people really wanted those trophies sitting in their house, and he would compete, and of course, me and my other cousins would go. And I remember the first time I went many moons ago, I was enthralled. I thought they were all Las Vegas showgirls, that this is where they come to retire and still keep the category, keep the flavor and the glamour going on. So, but it was always a safe place for everyone. and it was very affirming. So I would always see Avis throughout my entire life growing up in DC or traveling back and forth in New York. So when I joined the house, it was like, bam, instantly. I mean, Avis had a light that everybody drew to, regardless of what house she was mother to everyone. And we would talk and we would have so many wonderful conversations. We had so much in common that I immediately, when I wanted to join a ball, ballroom or a house, I immediately became a Pendarvis instantly. So here I am, many, many, many moons later, still a Pendarvis, and which is really nice. Thanks, Jack Mizrahi and Andre Mizrahi, who deemed me as a legend. So I am now one of the legends and icons in ballroom. And I've put my dues in. I helped lay part of the foundation. So I'm really honored and blessed when people take the time to honor you.
And
listen,
you deserve it, and when you say that, mother to all, we see that. We see the work that you do in the community. We see how you embrace people. We see, I will not claim that you and I know each other the way that Epic knows you, but what I have seen is that you are one of the few people that is universally beloved in our larger queer LGBTQ plus community in DC. And this is not to blow smoke, but really, I mean, if you are watching this show and you are looking for someone who is genuine and who is exactly who they seem to be, that's Rayceen. You are an absolutely lovely person, and I want to grow our relationship.
Oh, and this is part of it, an extension of growing and just loving on each other, because the work that we all do makes this world a better place. And of course, I wouldn't be the queen of the shameless plugs if I wouldn't say, follow me on all forms of social media.
Oh, exactly. I'm sure Team Rayceen will, because the chat is on the screen. So Team Rayceen, put Rayceen's socials in the chat so that everyone can see them, and it's recorded as part of the chat.
And and that's a wonderful thing. Czar, who's a part of what community is all about, and making sure that we reach back as elders in our community and reach back and have this wonderful collaborative, amazing intergenerational conversation and relationship. So and I think that's so important that we reach back and make sure that we are pulling young people with us, and young people take the time to sit with us. And Czar, who is the backbone of Team Rayceen, the founder who put it all together. Through my life and on this journey, I've been able to do amazing things as an activist, as a columnist, as a former talk show host, a former elected official, all of those wonderful things. And of course, I love my motto, I love being called the Empress of Pride, the Goddess of DC, and the Queen of the Shameless Plug, which is a great thing. And, I misspelled it under my name because I was typing really fast to try to get on. So that means that I'm human. So, I'm human. I make mistakes. So
that's what the H stands for.
That's what the H stands, right.
Her Royal Highness, I'm human. So please don't read me in the comments if you take the time to look at me on the screen. Yes, I misspelled, but I can call it first because I saw it first. but I was typing really quick to make sure I would come on in a timely fashion. So
no, we appreciate that. So tell us about the work that you do in the community.
Ooh. Well, I'm always doing work. I'm always continuing doing work. I mean, we're working on a project right now. We just came off of Art All Night, and we're working on projects. So I always say the best way to find out what I'm doing is please visit Rayceen.com. That's RAYCEEN.com. So when you follow me, you know all the things that I'm doing. And Lola, I see you. Oh, that's so sweet of you. I see you. You had the pleasure of seeing me in person right before the pandemic. Oh, bless your heart. So, you know, follow me so you can see me when I pop out again. We got something planned for the month of October that's really big in DC. I don't want to talk about it yet until we're able to really put it out there in a way that everyone will know. But if you're following me on social media, you will know because we put it out like that. But to answer your question, some of the things that I've done in my life or do in my life or doing in my life, there are many things, you know, all of it is a part of an extension of where all of it is an extension of where I come from. You know, growing up in DC, having an amazing family, having an amazing mom. My dad died very young, but my mother was always there, very affirming, very loving. All of my brothers, I had 5 brothers who were very affirming, who I took them on this journey with me. It was like, yes, you have a brother who is a homosexual, and you got to learn to love the gays. But, you know, and that's a blessing. And on this journey, you teach people about acceptance, love, and a celebration of who we are as people of color, people that are human beings. That, you know, it's been a wonderful journey. So I think I walk in light, I walk in love, I walk in everything that I do. I try to kind of make sure that whatever I'm doing, I'm reaching back and pulling people up with me. So those are some of the things that I do. You know, I make sure that I'm creating safe spaces for everybody. I'm making sure that I'm very political. You know, we have to be political. Yeah, I talked about politics. People have to vote like your life depends on it, because if you don't vote, you're part of the problem. But when you vote, you solve the problem. So, you know, I tell people I don't, you know, get into how people vote, but long for you at the ballot box. But, you know, there's good and there's evil. So that's how I'm going to leave it at that. Do you want good or do you want evil? I prefer good. So I'm going with good over evil.
Simply put. But you know what? So you brought something up interesting. That was interesting. Coming from the ballroom community and getting into politics, and where the intersection of ballroom politics and community all kind of get together. You have like celebrities that are coming out from the community, whether they are trans or not. But again, a lot of these celebrities. How do you feel about this progress within the community, like politically and entertainment wise? Like, did you ever imagine we would be here at this particular place in 2025?
It makes me feel good. It makes me feel great that everything that those who are no longer here to see, that laid the foundation, the Avis Pendarvis, Doreen Corey, Pepper LaBeija, Paris Dupree, you know, Crystal LaBeija, Angie Extravaganza, all of them laid a foundation that created safe havens for the LGBTQIA community, but especially our trans brothers and our trans sisters. That ballroom was a place where if you weren't a queen in your real life, you could be a queen in the ballroom. And it created, and it taught us that sometimes everybody's not going to love you, but here's a place that will love you and respect you and honor you and celebrate you. So all of that makes me feel good to see these extensions, to see the Pose and Legendary, and to see people, all of these amazing celebrities gravitate to ballroom, even though back in the day they were there too. So they would come, you know, Phyllis Hyman. I remember when they had the Love Ball, when they brought in all of the Broadway folks and supermodels, you know, Cindy Crawford, Iman, you know, Gwen Verney, you know, all those amazing people, Godfrey Holden, all of them came. The creme of the creme was all at the Love Ball, celebrating ballroom when ballroom met Broadway. Broadway made fashion. Broadway, you know, ballroom met fashion. Ballroom met music, and all of those amazing things. And you think about a history of when people think about Madonna. Before Madonna had Vogue, you had Queen Latifah had children voguing in her video. Diana Ross. You had Liz Torres, Jodie Watley. You know, there's a history far beyond just Madonna. All, you know, folks always knew where to, if you wanted to know where to come, you came to the ballroom and catch that flavor, and the kids catched it and catched it well. So celebrities have always been there and always been our greatest allies and always rallied us. So that makes me feel really good to see that it's the children of Vogan in Rome, Vogan in Paris, Vogan in Tokyo, Vogan in Milan, and they have the international houses of various houses that have the international extensions of their house. So that makes me feel really good. And then when I walk into spaces and young people be like, oh my God, you're Rayceen Pendarvis. And then that, then I have to stand back for a minute and I say, well, you know what? Well, la-di-da, and that makes me feel good when young people, come to me and they say thank you. And that makes me feel really great that I'm a part of that experience. I'm a part of that journey. And I like to say that I helped lay a foundation or two. I put a brick in the building, so, and that's how everything builds, so what a joy.
Listen, every day I get excited. I was getting excited every day because I knew you were coming on the show. So I have like all these questions and all this stuff. And of course they're leaving my mind at this
you
moment.
You should see it. It's a whole page. It's right off of the side here. There's a whole page full of stuff. And the interesting part is that you're already hitting all of these things.
All of this, yes. So talking about politically, or things political and the intersection of politics and the LGBTQIA community. What are your thoughts on that integration? What do you feel would make it better in the future, or are there things that we shouldn't do that will make it worse that we should try to avoid? Just from what you've noticed and what your thoughts on that.
Well, I feel as LGBTIQA people, we've always been political. We've had to be political. We've had to understand the importance of gathering, rallying, and unifying each other. We know the power of the vote. We understand what we can do when we come together. And we now must understand even more when our freedom is being affected in a way, and our rights are trying to be taken away, our history is trying to be erased. So we have to understand that everything we fought for then, we must continue to fight even harder. So now we have to understand the importance of what we did back in the day when we didn't have all that we had now. We did things and moved and shook and created, and we have to honor the spirit of those who went before us, the Baynard Rustins, the Harvey Milks, and we have to understand that they made it possible for us today, and we cannot dishonor their memory or their spirit by not voting, by sitting back, sitting out. And then we have to understand that we have to organize our community and tell folks, just don't vote for the president. Vote in your local elections. How important that is. That's on the local level is important as the national level. So I feel like to see people now understand and now get it, and these young people, the LGBTQIA community is on fire again. We got comfortable for a minute because we had arrived and we had gay marriage and we had all these prides, and prides were becoming big, and all of these wonderful, amazing organizations and companies was giving us millions of dollars. But now that we see who our allies are, one, we see that things are not where they should be. So now we got to start rethinking what pride is that. We got to go back to the liberation movement of pride. We have to go into thinking that pride is not just a party, it is a liberation. So we have got to go in and start marching, start shaking things up again, and start organizing and start strategizing. We have to have smart moves. And then we have to understand that if they don't want our money, or if they don't want us, they can't have our money. You know what I'm saying? So we got to understand the power of our dollar, the power of our vote. And then we've got to understand that folks got to strategize and unify in ways. And then it's very simple. It's very simple because some people get very overwhelmed. And one, it starts with making sure that you are a registered voter, that you contact headcount.org in your city where you are, and making sure that, because they are going in and taking people off of voter registrations. Folks' names are being deleted, and people, it's the game that they playing. So you got to first go in and make sure you are registered. Get your folks who ain't registered. And then we have the returning citizens. Washington, D.C. is the most affirming city where returning citizens can vote. Not every city is like that. So then we have to make sure, we have to tell people that. And then people have to understand, if you have name changes, folks are living their lives full and living it in all of their fullness. But sometimes folks don't go through the proper changes and correcting their names. So you got to make sure your names match who you are, and you don't have your dead name as a registration when you now have a new name. So you got to make sure all that matches, your ID matches, that you're registered, all of that, and making sure, and then finding programs that will help you through that process, that'll make sure you're doing everything you're supposed to do so you can vote properly.
I love that I think one of the things that we are constantly getting better at is language. And you didn't say, ex-con or, felon. You said returning citizen. And though that is an affirming lange.
I'm learning. I'm still learning. People. Now I'm learning that the terminology of some people don't like. I personally don't like the word cisgender women, if I'm pronouncing that right. So now I just say the women and the dolls.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Definitely. I think, it's important to know that never get comfortable with where you are, and don't see a change in the way that we reference things as an attack. And I feel like people often are like, oh, if you don't call me this, it's an attack. And like you said at the very beginning, it doesn't define you. So I love that. And I love that we are having, as Epic said in the beginning, all of these nuggets of wisdom about how important it is. We're in this larger queer community. And that's my own when we're talking about things that people don't like. I don't like the word queer. I am a Black gay man, and that's how I grew up. And I use the word queer because we're in these spaces, and it's just less of a mouthful than LGBTQIA+. But when I'm talking about the kids, I mean other Black gay men. But I think it's important.
I like the term same gender loving. I love that. That sounds really, same gender loving. And it's how you say it. It's so Maya Angelou.
It is very, you'd be like, we were same gender loving.
Listen, and when I get the funny thing is when I'm by myself or around my close knit group of friends, we all have a different conversation for people differently. But that again,
I remember when we were the S words, the P words, the D words, the B words, all of those things. We've been called a lot of things.
Well, yeah, that is true. But I'm so glad that even throughout all of this change, and just in my own 20, 30 years, that I've been able to witness how people have kind of rolled through and roll with the punches. And you have definitely done that. But you've stayed Rayceen the entire time. Let me be clear about that. That brings me to my next question. Tell us something about Rayceen that we don't know, or that people wouldn't have guessed about you, or if you are an avid Parcheesi player, or you won a Scrabble competition of some
I love
sort.
trivia. I love trivia. I am the queen of trivia. If people don't know, and you invite me for a game of trivia, I am down, and I will come in there and be like, y'all not following the rules. Y'all not just, I come to play to win. I love trivia, and I music. Everybody knows that I love music, but music is the music is the answer. I love country
music is my life.
I love jazz. I love all kind of music. Music is my thing. So if people, I just can sit and listen to all type of music: classical, opera, jazz, folk, rock. I just love music. I love lyrics first.
Okay.
As an artist,
on the vibe, because it's poetry. It's the poetry of it.
As an artist and a writer, I love music. So those are the things that So, and what else that a lot of times another nugget. I like sitting on the porch where I live in my home, in my house, and just sitting on the porch breathing in and communing with nature. I like to sit in the park. Sometimes if you see me in DuPont Circle, I'll be sitting there on a park bench just by myself, communing and loving the spirit, looking at the squirrels and the trees and the leaves change color. I just sometimes like to sit and be quiet and take it all in. That sometimes I'm not always on. And when people invite me to things and I come, sometimes I just like to be in the midst and just take it all in. And sometimes I like to sit and listen and learn and be in awe. You know, I like to be a student of life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. In that, so you mentioned that you love lyrics. Do you have any favorite lyricists or favorite artists because their words are the absolute for you? Like they are anything that person says, you're gonna be listening like as we used to say when we were younger, E.F. Hutton. They said something, what we listen.
Ooh, I love anyone who writes that speaks to spirit and heart and to love. I love Burt Bacharach movie lyrics. I love old movies, of course. If I'm gonna put that in there, I definitely love old black and whites. Black and whites are my thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I love.
What's your favorite old movie?
Oh my goodness.
Or one of your favorite old movies?
Well, it's quite a few. So if I had to pick my top, maybe my top five old black and whites. Of course, Raisin in the Sun, A Patch of Blue, Imitation of Life.
Of course.
Both versions of Imitation of Life.
Yes.
The Bad Seed. The Women. Children's
The Women.
The Women,
yes, the women.
Yes, the women. Own business.
Yes, the Children's Hour, with Shirley MacLaine and Audrey Hepburn, and then my final ride up would probably be The Boys, even though that's not black and white. The Boys in the Band,
with
original.
Goldberg.
No, Boys in the Band, based on the play.
Got you. Okay.
All the gay men gather for. I feel like that's a must that every gay child should watch. It's a rite of passage. You must watch.
So speaking of that, if that's one movie that's a rite of passage for every gay boy or girl, do you have maybe like a top five as far as movies, as far as gays are concerned? Because listen, we're a little partial on this show. We love Jackie Washington, so I mean, I'm always say,
well, that's an iconic. That's a camp. Camp 101. That's Jackie Washington's everything. Everybody needs the entendre. Everybody needs the entendre, darling.
Bastard Amber.
Yes, honey. There are a couple of amazing films that are LGBT films. Of course, Moonlighting.
I just went back and rewatched it.
Finding Langston? Is it Finding Langston? I think about Langston.
I think that is the title.
Yes, Finding Langston. That's another beautiful longtime companion. It's very emotional. It's a very beautiful film.
Finding Langston was the one where it was with Anthony Mackie.
Yes.
And he was talking to Langston Hughes in character, and he said, what does it feel like getting older? And Langston Hughes said, darling, I'm not getting older. I'm becoming more legendary.
Yes. So that's definitely, and another one, of course, I said The Children's Hour. Is easy. The Children's Hour is it's based on a play and a book. And then I feel like people should watch that and then watch these three. That was the original version of The Children's Hour. So both of them are very good. And then I'll round it out. Anything with Tennessee Williams, anything that he produced or put together was a brilliant, because he wrote in a way that sometimes it required you to understand it. Wait a minute. I think that this character is gay. I think that this, so his writing and his stuff it required us to think. And my favorite of all is of course, is Suddenly Last Summer with Catherine Hepburn and Elizabeth Taylor. So, that's another one. Yeah. So I gave you more than five, but those are ones that I feel like every LGBT person. Watermelon Woman, which is, a really great story about lesbian love.
I don't think
So I
I've
had
seen
to
it.
include that for my sisters because somebody will be like, "You ain't mentioned enough about the girls." So what about a woman?
I may have
Definitely.
to go and look at that. Thank you so much. I don't
Yeah,
think I knew that.
that is a new one for me. Let me put that one on the list. Watermelon.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. Okay. So the other thing that I wanted to say is this is my own personal plug. I always, and I was talking about this earlier, so I'm not sure if you saw it or whatever. A lot of the people who are a part of the community have like a gay parent. We had one, and I kind of always consider you amongst
Oh,
Diamond, Aviance, you, and also Anya Diamond in Philadelphia. So the three of you have always been people that I've just always kind of looked at all the time. And I'm like, I would get a pulse from you and kind of know what's going on. And they kind of represented a lot of different things about myself. Diamond with the dancing part, because I thought she was a dancing doll. That baby was always together. Rayceen with the fact that you can go to every single crowd I've seen you walk into, like whether we were in tracks or anywhere else, wherever I've seen you at, you walk from this crowd to that crowd to this crowd to that crowd. So I kind of identified with that. Diamond also, because she was a Philadelphian, she was she had a little bit of hood and a little bit of street, how to handle herself. But listen, don't disrespect her because that was a whole different thing. So I love that, and I appreciate all three of them. But I always recognize that, and I'm saying in public, and I get to say it to you that again, you were always one of those people that I considered in my mind. I was like, if I had one, it would be Rayceen. Like she would be that person.
thank you. I'm honored. I claim everybody. I'm everybody's mother. I'm everybody's father. I claim everybody. Everybody's all my children. But yeah, and that's a blessing when people look at you that way. And I have to embrace that because sometimes I want to, sometimes I want to be the sexy aunt or the sexy uncle they looking at. But I realize everybody look at me as mother. But to any of the single folks out there, single men over 40, yes, I take them from 40 to 100, honey. Breathing or almost breathing. So honey, come on and holler at your doll, honey. Come on, darling. Don't get it twisted. Honey, definitely. So that's a good thing. So and somebody said brother to brother was the one with Anthony Mack.
Oh, okay. Yes. Sorry.
Brother to brother.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
So as we wind down for the evening, both with you and for the show, what are you looking forward to in the future?
What am I looking forward to in the future? That we will continue to fight, that we will never give up, that we will never be silent, that we know the importance of our voices, we know the importance of who we are, that folks will love on themselves better. I want us to take better care of our mental health. I want us to understand if we do not take care of ourselves first, we can't take care of anybody. And folks must understand the importance of their mental health in a time that right now everybody is so stressed out. So in order for us to organize, first take care of yourself. Learn to breathe, learn to relax. And sometimes if it requires you to find a spiritual understanding, whatever that looks like for anybody, because I'm not going to preach, because sometimes folks get overwhelmed with that. But whatever it looks like for you, find the time to meditate, to go within, and get a good therapist. So that's a lot of things I want people to do. Take care of your mental health. Ain't nothing wrong. Therapy is not a bad word. Get in somebody's chair and sit in therapy and begin to heal and stop walking around in our trauma. And then another thing, I'm going to leave you with a couple of nuggets. Please, everybody, our beloved Czar has been nominated for the best of LGBT DC from the Washington Blade. I've won that role for many times in many capacities. But I think it would be so wonderful if people would nominate Czar, because Czar has always been the kind of person who does all of this work behind the scenes of organizing and pull people together. And he's never, ever been someone to say, here I am, see me, see me, see me. But the fact that he was nominated was such a wonderful blessing. But I feel like he should win. So please go and nominate him as most committed activist. And then if you go to my page, there are a couple people that we have taken the time to just showcase and honor, and go to Rayceen.com, hit the link for the best of LGBTDC and look at those nominations. They're very easy. There's so many amazing people. So take the time to honor some of these people doing the work in the community. That's what I want people to do. So those are the things that I want, and I want people to understand that it is in the midst of everything that we're going through. Don't get consumed by the darkness. Understand that you are the light. And your light, each person, all of us, you have a light, I have a light. All of our light is so beautiful. Everybody has a light within them. And sometimes the world tries to dim your light, try to steal your light, try to break your light, try to take away your light. Understand your light is so great and so important. And those moments when you feel like it is at its darkest, you better put on some music, twirl around that house, and open the windows and the doors and put on a show and love on yourself. So I've given you quite a few things that I'm looking forward to, and do what we need to do to get where we need to get, go where we need to go, and love, the immortal words of the help. You is kind, you is smart, you is important. Affirm yourself daily, people. Affirm yourself, daily. Take the time to love on you.
Amen. And that website, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but if you go to the Washington Blade website and go look for Best Of, it's going to give you the link to start the survey for Best Of voting. And please remember to vote if your conscience moves you to vote for Czar. Czar has done amazing work for Rayceen and for the community, and we thank them for all of their work. So thank you so much.
Wait a minute. And if y'all going on the Washington Blade and y'all not nominate people, y'all need to be nominating the BGKH Show. Come on, hello. Somebody put a nomination in there. What y'all talking about? I mean, come on. Like what?
I mean, we both live in this area. We are black. We are gay. We are kinky. But most of all, we are human.
How about that? I just, looking at you too, I just feel like somebody needs to get all of us silver foxes together, and all of us to get us together and celebrate what it is to be black, gay, and silver. I feel like somebody needs to do a photo shoot with everybody with all this fabulous silver hair and just embrace the celebration of our greatness, honey.
Listen, if you put it together or Czar put it together or whatever, you ask him, baby, I'm in.
Well, maybe that's something me and Czar need to do, child. Create a wonderful, invite everybody. You must have silver hair, silver beard, silver hair, silver locks, silver, honey. And just
or like men who have silver hair. Because Rayceen, you're not the only one, looking for a man at least 40. Well, they don't have to be 40, but stable. I'm out of the sugar daddy phase.
Listen, let me tell you something. Whether you're looking for, don't step to me if you went under 35, and even the one. Listen, let me not say that because I'm having conversation with somebody right now. But I thought Shantae had a man at home. They are very mature, but in my preference, that you be like you said, 40 and older. That's what we're gonna work with, but. Everybody's different. Everyone has their own thing, and so right now I'm exploring why they're so special. So that's what we're doing.
How about that? And this is something I want, especially black gay men to do, and to understand that many of us have been walking in trauma for a very long time, and whatever that trauma must look like for many of us, it's different for many of us, and some people have never fully addressed that trauma. And have been walking around, and as a result of not addressing that trauma, you've gotten into relationships where it has not been good for you, and it's not been good for that other person. Mm-hmm. So as someone who says this out of love, I want you to understand, if you do not take care of yourself and you get into relationships and affect other people, it is a disservice of someone who is trying to love you and fully embrace you and lift you up when you haven't done the work to fully heal. So I'm just saying especially to my Black gay men, please take care of yourselves. Please do the work on your healing and come to somebody complete and whole, because there are some wonderful Black gay men out here that will love you, want love, deserving of love, and have done the work to heal. Yeah. And have done the work to just embrace you and love you, and that's all they want. They don't want your money, they don't want your credit score, they just want to love you. But if you are not in a position, and emotional, physical, spiritual, to love that person and see that person for the beautiful value that stands before you, do the work. Do the work on yourself. Don't get into these relationships and fuck other people up and have them start thinking and telling them that, oh, it's not you, it's me. Well, you knew that. So you knew you shouldn't have came to them in the beginning when you knew you had some stuff that you had to work on. Take care of that stuff. Take care of that stuff, and don't dump it onto someone else. And don't tell people, and don't blame other people and say, you just like my last relationship. No, they're not. No, they're not. Stop using that as a crutch. Right. Do that work. Do that work.
Listen, the common denominator in all of those relationships is you. So are they really the problem, or is the problem you?
Because I'm going to tell you, for someone I know what love is. Mm-hmm. I know what it feels like. And God blessed me with someone who loved me for 20 years. And God, we have the greatest love. And it is a gift. There is nothing more beautiful than Black gay love. Mm-hmm. And if God called him home, if he would have stayed with me, we'd have still been together now. We'd have still been doing it, child, sitting on a porch in our rocking chairs. But I know what love feels like. And it is a gift. It is a beautiful gift. And I want us to all have love. But I want us to love ourselves first. And then honor spirit of love and bring someone else into your life only if you're ready.
Excellent. All right,
you said something that,
Epic, you have to wrap it up, and then because
wait a minute,
I'm trying to get the show together so that we can then do the AI stuff. So listen,
we can ask what we want to ask.
Follow the cues, man. Follow the cues. So had a last word, then we're gonna say our goodbyes, and then we're gonna give Rayceen the very last words before we go out. So say what you got to say, have your little words, and then we'll wrap it up.
So before I was so rudely interrupted, what I was going to say, what you said, the one thing that you said that is stuck with me right now and is still swirling in my head is the fact that if you don't do the work, you're doing a disservice to that person. For them to not be able to get to know who you are. And because I am someone that is in therapy now, listen, I'm only a couple sessions in, but in therapy now, it is sticking with me. So I thank you for that. And I'm going to go back and say, I thank you for just being absolutely who you are, because in this chat right here, I have several people that I absolutely love and adore. They are family to me. So that is Desmond and Spill It Boy and Manga and all. And even that one over there with the red shirt that gets on my nerves and cut me off because we got to talk about time with his talk about him right there is pointing to the wrong way. But again, I appreciate that. And so thank you. But I just appreciate you being here. But thank you so much, Rayceen, because I absolutely love you. Mwah.
And Rayceen, I've said what I said at the beginning, and I'll just repeat it, that you are an amazing person. We are so honored to not only have you on our show, but as an advocate in this community and as a shining beacon of all that is good in the community. And thank you for taking the time to drop those nuggets of wisdom, because baby, we were writing that with Watermelon Woman, you got to love yourself. You're doing a disservice. I'm gonna go back and listen to this show. I'm gonna put together, all of these little things. And remember, everybody, please visit Rayceen at the Rayceen, visit Rayceen.com.
Yep.
So Rayceen, we'll give you the last word.
Thank you, Czar, as well. Thank you, Czar, as well. I want to say that out there, but thank you, Czar, as well, because I know he's behind the scenes working overtime. So thank you. And I've seen it firsthand. So thank you.
Yes. And Rayceen, we'll give you the last word.
Walk in love, walk in light. God bless everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. And
Thank
goodbye.
You,
good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.